guys, it's Yolanda here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for stopping in for just a minute. So this is like a very impromptu video, and so I wanted to hop on really quick and talk about the Ava DuVernay docupic or documentary or depiction of what happened to the Central Park Five. So by now, I know that you all, if people in my generation already know about the Central Park Five, because I was probably, I don't know, of age elementary school, or like tween years when this in '89 when this happened. I think I was graduating 8th grade, and so around that time, definitely I saw it in the news, and I did get a chance to see it. I believe 2020 had the documentary piece of it with all the real people that were involved, the young men that were involved, and that was in the police and district attorney's office and things like that. That was involved in on the case. So I have a few thoughts about it. I'm just watching the series on Netflix, and so that's why I wanted to come on today and just let you guys know. Like I was having a conversation, let you guys know about the documentary. Sorry. I also had a conversation with my daughter the other day. She is 22 years old, and she was just saying she never heard of the Central Park Five and what happened in New York City. So she was fascinated by the story and was able to, we sat down and watched the second episode together. The first one we watched separately, but she said she would go on and get a chance to hear some of the taped confessions, if you will, or what these young men had talked about in their tapes, given with the police and everything like that. So I don't know. I have all the information on this, what happened, the Central Park Five, but definitely full of some interesting points that are being made now. I don't know enough to say what the young men did in the park that night, what was done, what didn't occur. We have some facts, we have some things that were presented, and also the eyewitnesses who were a part of the wilding situation with the young men in the park that evening. And I think when 2020 had their documentary on, that was the first time seeing the victim, the female jogger that was attacked that night and left for dead, and Central Park. That was my first time actually putting a face to a name, and certainly it's tragic all the way around. I don't care how you look at it, with the injustices done with these young men. And like I said, I don't know all the stories and all the particulars, so don't try to come for me in the comments. But I'm just saying, with the Netflix series that's on, just look, pay attention, take a look at it and see. I just want to know your thoughts, really. That's what I want to do, and also get a chance to look at some of the real footage and the real comments from the young men that were involved at the time, their family members. It's just a lot. So we all know there's injustices in these United States. We get that. We know there's racism, the underlying racism, systematic racism. It's a lot of things that go on in this country, but I don't know. This is like just so disturbing. I got a chance to look at some of the 2020, and I will continue to watch the Netflix story that Ava DuVernay put together. And if you look at it, she's a genius in her own right, and what she does in the film industry and as an African American woman, breaking barriers and what she does, she's just genius. And I love her work. But if you get a chance, guys, to go on and look at the Netflix, I believe We See You, I believe that's the correct title of what's on Netflix. But get a chance to go on and look and see, I understand, so, these are Hollywood actors. I get that. And also get a chance to see what the real testimonies were of these young men that were involved in the Central Park Five. I didn't even know until, well, I'm not going to say any spoiler alerts or anything. I know this is not like a Hollywood movie, if you will. Like, you got to say spoiler alert. You already know the story. If you don't, look it up. Google it, and you'll be able to get real accounts as to what happened. But clearly, you'll look and see that some things is just not right. Like I said, you form your own opinion, just like I have my own opinion, and that's it. Like I said, don't try to come for me and be like, you don't know what you're talking about or whatever. I'm just saying, pay attention. What I like to do as an individual, I know for me, I observe a lot. I may not say a whole lot, but I do observe. I do try to pay attention and to listen and to try to put things together. And like I said, I'm no expert on the case. I'm not an attorney. I am not in the field of law or anything or law enforcement. So I'm just a social worker. It's to say, from a social standpoint, just look at the case. Just look at what these young men had went through from their young lives. These were, I think the youngest one was 14 at the time. So these were young men, and definitely involved. I'm not defending or anything, all their actions. I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened in the park that night. You will see in the 2020 documentary and their live footage and their the interviews and what was said, what was done that evening. I'm not on here to challenge any of that. I'm just saying, just go on in and look, and just, if you don't know it, just go on and to Netflix and see what it's about. Go and look at, what really happened to these young men in the Central Park Five, and what happened to them, and what they're doing in their lives today. That's all I'm saying. And I want to know your opinion. Like, what do you think about what had happened? Certainly I haven't forgotten about the Central Park Five. I do remember, like I said, because of my age, I'm in my 40s, so I do remember. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions on what has happened and recently, and what people are calling on the district attorney and the police department, and their thoughts, and what, I guess, moving forward with the justice system and things like that. What people are feeling in their hearts and their minds about what should be done. I'm not indicating what should be done. I'm just asking your opinion. That's all. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for lending your ear and hear me chit chat for a few minutes about the Central Park 5 situation. And like I said, I just want to clearly just go on here today and just say, if you haven't heard the story, go and look it up. And you have it on Netflix. You have it on the media, what's archived on the internet, and see for yourself what these young men and their journey and what happened with them in their lives. Okay, so listen, clearly there's no winners in this situation. It's tragic all the way around what had happened, and I'm not saying anything towards the female jogger. I'm not saying that. As a woman, I'm not saying anything negative, and I'm not saying anything negative about the young men that were involved in the Central Park 5. I'm just letting you know that there's a story out there that you should pay attention to, and go on and look for yourself, and let me know what your opinions and your thoughts. So I thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, hit that subscribe button below and show your girl some love. Okay, love to hear from you guys. Talk to you soon.